Good evening, everyone. Hi, this is Parang from Havenspire, and today I'm going to be doing a market wrap for today. So today, again, it was kind of a very, very difficult day to trade, especially if you were trading the index. And again, there was a lot of sector-specific action. Nifty and Bank Nifty both were kind of choppy throughout the day, and that's why there were a lot of places where you could have, got trapped if you were a day trader, if you were trading it for a very short, time frame. So it was a tricky day to trade, but again, there were some sectors which were outperforming, and there were a lot of news flow that came in post results, and I'm going to be briefing you about all of that. What was the market action, and I hope that helps you to plan for your next trading day. So first, let's see what the major indices, or what action was happened in the major indices. So if you look at Nifty, up 60 points, kind of very flattish. And now, if you dig down into Nifty, all of the gains were kind of contributed by IT stocks and the pharma stocks. So that was kind of, and some gains were also contributed by Reliance. But again, the banks were down, and banking sector, the entire financial services sector was kind of under pressure. So Bank Nifty, as you can see, was kind of flattish. Bajaj Finance, Bajaj Finserv were relatively stronger than others, and that's why the index didn't tank as we would have expected it to on a red day for Bank Nifty. So mid cap and small cap were also kind of very flattish. So that shows you that there was not a lot of action in the cash market as well. India VIX down by 6% again. That's just another sign of the market kind of accepting the higher levels. And just after the inflation data that came in yesterday, everything was kind of very bullish. The yields fell yesterday, and that's again a positive for the market. So if you look at the broader indices, so what we can see is Nifty IT leading the pack, 1.5% up. But even um, if you exclude IT, one sector that I spoke about yesterday, which will probably outperform today, was Nifty Metals. And if we look at the outperformance of Nifty Metals, that's kind of evident here. So 2.7% up, the leader in all the major indices. And the reason was Steel Authority of India Limited sale, which I discussed yesterday, was about to post earnings. They had a standout quarter. They had reduced their debt by around 13,000 crores. And that was very, very, very bullish. And towards the end of the year, they're aiming to reduce debt by 21,000 crores. So you need to understand that earnings boost and very bullish management commentary kind of lifted all the steel stocks up towards the end of the day. So Jindal Steel, JSW Steel, we're going to have a look at them. So that was something in action today. Nifty IT doing really well. A lot of longs were built up in Emphasis and Infosys, TCS, all of these major IT names. So also what was interesting to see is that no other sector, Nifty Energy was kind of only held up because of Reliance. But if you look at all the power stocks, they were kind of very, very, under pressure. So if you look at the broader market, it was kind of very flattish, not a lot of things to actually look at. FIS bought just 18 crores of, in the cash market as a net buy sell position. Mostly they unwinded a lot of their long positions, and DIIs, or domestic institutional investors, they bought around 666 crores in the cash market. So again, what we can see, there are stock futures long positions, but index futures, we can again see some short positions being built up. And index options, we saw a lot of selling. So if we go and kind of have a look at what really happened in Nifty, so this is what is Nifty's heat map that you can see here. So if I look at Nifty, Reliance was up 1.68%, again one of the heavy movers of Nifty. Infosys really moved well. TCS, again IT names, and all these banking names: Kotak, HDFC, ICICI Bank, Axis Bank, all of these, SBI. Everything was under pressure. Bajaj Finance kind of very flattish. Again, HCL Tech, from the IT pack. Sun Pharma, JSW Steel, Tata Steel from the steel pack. Even Hindalco did really well. So it was a mixed bag today, and it was all about the sector that you were probably trading. So this was what Nifty looked like. This is what Bank Nifty looked like, and you can see that only AU Bank was kind of positive. Rest everything was kind of very, 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 very negative, right? So there was a lot of pressure that was coming in from these banks. Indus, SBI, Kotak, ICICI, all of them were down. HDFC Bank was just very, very flattish. So again, PSU banks also were kind of laggards today. They didn't really do very well. If you look at the F&O segment, the financial services, if you have a look, you can see that only ICICI, so some general insurance companies and Piramal continued their momentum. Rest, everything was kind of very flattish or rather negative, right? So that was the uh, financial services. If you look at FMCG, ITC again remains to be under pressure. No stock here was really doing well apart from Godrej Consumer Products. Now this stock, after that brilliant 25%, 26% rally a few days back, the stock was consolidating and now it's trying to move up again, and there are some long positions that are built up here as well. Rest, again, very flattish, not a lot of move here. It's interesting to see how pharma played out, and Oro Pharma was the standout stock here, up 5%. It was up 6% at one point, but doing really well. Glenmark, APL, Cadila Healthcare, all of them were doing really well. Cipla, Lupin were kind of very flattish, but again, the index was led by Oro Pharma, one of the major heavyweights. If we look at the energy sector, so you can see ONGC, IOC, Hindustan, all of them, like most of them were under pressure. Only MGL, Mahanagar Gas Limited, Power Grid, and Reliance. So this is the reason. So that's what I mentioned. Reliance was kind of the reason why Nifty Energy was standing tall. If you look at metals, this is very interesting, and you can see the green blips. Only Adani Enterprises was the one stock which was kind of flattish. But apart from that, all these stocks did really well. NMDC doing decently, 2.89% up. A sale up 5%. So that's phenomenal performance from the metal pack. Apart from that, everything was kind of very flattish, and not a lot of things to actually watch out for. Now, if we look at the futures build up, and if we kind of observe what all stocks saw some long build up, so Aurobindo Pharma, Coal India, City Union Bank saw some long build up. Apart from that, Glenmark, again pharma names. So just observe this: Jindal Steel, one of the names which had some long build up. And if I just look at all these stocks, you'll kind of have a good idea of how these metal shares and the pharmaceutical companies, all of them saw a lot of long build up happening somewhere around here. So you can see Tata Steel having some long build up. If you look at Hindalco somewhere around here, I think Hindalco is missing from this list, but even Hindalco had a lot of good long build up that was happening. So if we go to if we try to scan some stocks which saw some long build up happening, so let's go to long position scans and then new longs. So emphasis right off the bat: 30% open interest change. City Union Bank, Aurobindo Pharma, Coal India, Steel Authority of India Limited, Tech Mahindra, again Glenmark, JSPL, Tata Steel, Hindalco, Reliance, Bharat Electronics. So a Lupin, Dr. Reddy. So what you can see is a lot of metals and pharma and IT stocks are there in this list. So that means maybe in the next coming few sessions, these are the sectors which are going to outperform the other indices, and that's what we want to watch out for. So even here, Infi, Cadila, Coforge, TCS, all of these are pharma IT names. So Vedanta, again, a metal name. So this is something to watch out for the next few sessions. Stocks which saw some profit booking was SRF and Sun TV. So not a lot of open interest change. So this is again kind of very, very normal. If you look at some short position scans, we saw some new shorts building up in the real estate pack, and even Bharat Forge after the block deal that happened at 9:15 a.m. today. Godrej Properties, that you can see some banking names here: ICICI Bank, LIC Housing Finance, L&T Finance, some auto companies here, Hero as well. Hero is also here in this list. Tata Power saw some short build up, Torrent Power, Axis Bank, PNB. So all of these stocks which actually did really well are now seeing some short build up. SBI Life Insurance, HDFC Life, State Bank of India. So that clearly tells you the momentum is not with banks and the financial services companies. So we have to watch out for what happens here. Again, some short covering that took place was again in Godrej Consumer Products, Indiabulls Housing, Bata, BEL, Bajaj Finance, L&T, Biocon, again, a pharma name which was heavily shorted. They call it the ITC of pharma, is again seeing some short covering that's happening here. Dr. Lal Pathlab, again, a pharma name which got some short covering coming in. So again, some IT names. So what you can see is the story remains the same. IT, pharma, and metals. They're seeing some short covering happening. So even if you could see Sun Pharma got some short covering happening, and even in granules we saw some short covering. And here is GSW Steel, which saw some short covering again coming in. So that's kind of the outlook. If you look at the cash market and the high delivery companies, the companies which got high delivery as compared to their normal, so that was VIP Industries, Westlife Development, which is the parent company of McDonald's, NBCC, Schaeffler India, and GMDC. So they kind of saw very good action right here. So all in all, what really happened is this is the reason why actually sale shot up. That was because of extremely bullish management commentary and a debt reduction plan that was kind of looked at very, very positively from all the all the analysts, all the big business investment banks, and they got some re-rating. So sales target is now 160, and then JSPL, JSW Steel, all of these steel companies have revised targets now. So essentially, what's essentially happening right now is there's sector rotation going on, and smart money is just going to be with sectors which are going to continuously outperform. So all in all, today's day was kind of very flattish from a very broader, very general indices point of view, but there was some stock specific action that was seen. So all in all, it was a good day. So if you look at Nifty 500, there was, if you look at the depth here, so Nifty 500, if you can see, there are around 250 gainers, around 250 losers. But there were some companies which just saw some very, very stock specific action. Vakranji, Future Retail hitting circuits here, Thyrocare, Alok Industries, DCB Bank, all of these. So again, Hindustan Copper, another metal name. Sale, again, another metal name which was doing really well. Jindal Stainless Limited and Jindal Stainless SR, which we discussed yesterday. So all of them kind of are doing really well. So what I'm expecting on Monday is, again, steel stocks, pharma and IT to do really well, and banks and financials might continue to underperform. So if you look at the losers on the Nifty 500, so FSL, Gujarat Fluorochemicals, National Fertilizers, so all of these fertilizers play is now kind of losing some steam. TV18 broadcast, after a brilliant 16% rally, is now kind of settling down. So all in all, I feel the market is still going to remain bullish for the next week. Maybe there's going to be some kind of profit taking. And again, our indices, both Bank Nifty and Nifty, are completely dependent on how banks perform. So just by looking at Nifty or Bank Nifty doesn't really give you a very broad perspective of what was the market doing. So it's very important for you to dig down on what sectors, what stocks are doing really well. Whenever banks underperform, whenever there is a hit in the banking sector, you will see Nifty, Bank Nifty kind of falling really sharply, because Nifty is again full of financials and banks, and Bank Nifty is entirely banks, right? So again, that's something to watch out for. So that was a wrap from today. Currently, Dow Jones is trading in the red. Europe is also closing somewhere in the red. So there is flattish action in the US and the European market. So let's see how Monday opens. And I'm expecting that around from Tuesday onwards, we might see a good sell-off trying to kick into the markets. We might see some longs being unwinding. That's what the data shows. So let's see how price action plays out. And I hope you enjoyed the video and you learned something new. Thank you so much.